Of Lions Club is a purple program, and after that we have a dance competition, very exciting competition. And not only that, we have to honor the greatest poet of Nepal, Lakshmipratap, because this year we are celebrating 100th birth anniversary of Lakshmipratap. So I would like to request everybody to take their respective seat. So, to start our program, I would like to request our chief guest, Francis Cooper, to come on the stage and take your seat. Give you a big hand to Francis Cooper. Now, I would like to request Tihar to introduce our special chief guest.
First of all, thank you very much for letting me come you guys and speak out a few words about our president about for today. Respected President, dignitaries and the guys, they're going to be here shortly. Fellow Lions, dear friends, brothers and sisters. Today I have been assigned introducing the crew about our chief guest, and let me go ahead and recite it. Francine Coopers is French-born. She has 3 children and lives in Berkeley since 1988. She holds a master's in psychology and a bachelor in sociology. She is also a language teacher, French and Spanish, translator, and entrepreneur. She came to California 30 years ago in 1978 to be the principal of the French American School in LA. Francine Coopers founded and directed 6 companies, including 2 restaurants in Berkeley and 4 language companies which offer language and cultural training and translation. She is also a cultural awareness consultant. She was part of a cultural exchange between Berkeley and Dimitrov in Russia. She taught a group of 30 Russian women during the summer of 1992. Francine Coopers has produced language and cultural training since 1986 in 18 languages, including for the U.S. Army in Iraq and Afghanistan. Francine is also a volunteer to 2 organizations in Berkeley, La Pena Cultural Center for 12 years, and the Middle East Children's Alliance, which provides humanitarian aid to children in Iraq and Palestine. Finally, she is a regular customer and supporter of the Taste of the Himalayas, which is located in Berkeley. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashish, for introducing our chief guest. Now, we're going to start our program in a very formal way. To organize a program in a formal way, we must have a chairperson to proceed our program. So I would like to request our Lions Club of Bandapura on Berkeley's acting president Ramchandra Dekal to come up on the stage and take a seat. Similarly, I would like to request our senior advisor of Lions Club of Annapurna Berkeley, Mr. Govind Desai. Similarly, I would like to request the charter president of Lions Club of Annapurna Berkeley, Mr. Rajan Thapa. Now, I would like to request and invite the charter president of Kathmandu Namaste Spring, District 85A Nepal, who is one of the founder of Kathmandu Spring and is going to take MJF certification today in this program. So I would like to request Narayan Shetty to take his seat. Now, we know everybody, Motherland Nepal is one of the organizations of the Bay Area, and he is also the panel of judges of today's program. So I would like to request Mr. Anil Pandey to come up on the stage and take his seat. Mr. Anil Pandey. Similarly, today's program is about Tihar Shahs and dance competition with a special homage to Lassip Pradhalbata, the great poet of Nepali literature. In Northern California also, we have a literary organization called International Nepali Literary Society. So from INLS, I would like to request a popular poet, singer, writer, and journalist, Basu Dhaka. हामी माझ प्रमुख अतिथि लगायत कार्यक्रमका विशिष्ट व्यक्तित्वहरू यहाँ आइसक्नु भएको छ। साथै म आजको कार्यक्रममा उपस्थित हुने विभिन्न ठाउँबाट आउनुभएका सम्पूर्ण अतिथिहरू, सहभागीहरू सबैलाई हार्दिक स्वागत जनाउन चाहन्छु र उहाँहरूलाई पनि आफ्नो ठाउँमा बसे तापनि हामी यहीबाट एकपल्ट जोरदार ताली दिएर स्वागत गरौँ। र कार्यक्रममा यसलाई लायन्स क्लबको नियम अनुसारले कार्यक्रम सञ्चालन गर्नको अनुमति माग्दै म लायन्स रामचन्द्र ढकालजीलाई यो कार्यक्रम विधिवत उद्घाटन भएको घोषणा गरिदिन अनुरोध गर्दछु। लायन्स क्लबको नियम अनुसारले इन्भोकेसन एन्ड लाइन प्रेज गरिदिनु हुन म निमेश श्रेष्ठजीलाई अनुरोध गर्दछु।
Line, please. And there's a mic. be a line dedicated to the service of others. Thank you. And for the vocation, I'd like to, O God, who are eternal light and infinite wisdom, in whom we believe and who have our being, we beg the blessing upon our deliberation that we too may acquire true knowledge and wisdom, and thus become more fit to serve our neighbor, our country, and thee, our heavenly fathers. Amen.
Thank you very much. Now we are going to start our program by welcoming speech. Line Lakshmi Chaudhary. I would like to request her to come here and welcome this program.
Invited guests, fellow lines, dear friends, brothers, sisters, and loving children. I am Lakshmi Chaudhary. On behalf of Lions Club Annapurna Berkeley, I would like to welcome everybody here to this program. And now today we are having a cultural program in this program, and we are also celebrating the 100th birth anniversary of Lakshmi Prasad Devkota. We यहाँ आमन्त्रित सम्पूर्ण दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनीहरू यहाँ आमन्त्रित हाम्रा महानुभाव र गेस्टहरू, आजको यो हाम्रो प्रोग्राममा तपाईहरुलाई हार्दिक स्वागत अभिवादन गर्न चाहन्छु। आज हामीले नेपाली डान्स कम्पिटिसन प्रोग्राम गर्न गइरहेका छौं। हाम्रो संस्कृति जोगाउनको लागि हामी जहाँ बसे पनि जहाँ गए पनि हाम्रो संस्कृति हामीसँगै हुन्छ। त्यसकारण हाम्रो संस्कृति जोगाउनको लागि आज हामीले प्रोग्राम गर्दै गइरहेका छौं र हाम्रो बच्चाहरू प्रोग्राम गर्न गइरहेको छ र उनीहरूले आफ्नो सफलताको रिजल्ट पाउनलाई पर्खिरहेका छन्। उनीहरू यहाँ डान्स देखाएर आफ्नो रिजल्ट पाउनलाई प्रतीक्षा गरिरहेका छन् र आज हामीले लक्ष्मी प्रसाद देवकोटाको 100 वर्षको एनिभर्सरी मनाउन जाँदैछौँ र त्यसमा यहाँ कविता गोष्ठी पनि हुन गइरहेको छ। विभिन्न क्षेत्रबाट पनि हाम्रो गेस्टहरू आउनु भएको छ। उहाँहरूले जज गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ र उहाँहरूले कति कविता वाचनहरू पनि गर्नुहुन्छ। त्यसैले यहाँ उपस्थित हुनुभएकोमा हामी धेरै धेरै स्वागत गर्दछौँ।
धन्यवाद लायन लक्ष्मी चौधरी। अब आजको कार्यक्रमलाई अघि बढाउँदै हाम्रो महाकवि लक्ष्मी प्रसाद देवकोटा, जसको यस वर्ष हामी 100 वर्षको शतवार्षिकी मनाइरहेका छौं र आजको कार्यक्रमलाई सम्मान लक्ष्मी प्रसाद देवकोटाको सम्मान गर्ने कार्यक्रम रहेको छ र उहाँको तस्बिरमा खदा अर्पण गरेर सम्मान गर्नको लागि म हाम्रो क्लब लायन्स क्लब गर्ने अन्नपूर्णाको सिनियर एडभाइजर गोविन्द साईजीलाई अनुरोध गर्दछु। ईश्वर तैले रचेर फेरि कसरी बिगारिस, सृष्टिको फूल रचेर देखि कसरी नसारिस, त्यो फूलहरूले मलाई दिए कसरी पछारिस, यदि मैले ती मुना देख्दा मुनाको मुहार, ती मुना पनि मर्दछिन् भन्ने थिएन विचारा, ती मुना पनि मर्दछिन् भन्ने थिएन विचारा। यो कविताको एउटा अंश लक्ष्मी प्रसाद देवकोटाको सबैभन्दा उत्कृष्ट खण्डकाव्य मुना मदबाट लिएको हो So I'd like to say something about Lakshmiprasad Devkota. Lakshmiprasad Devkota was born on November 12, 1908 in Dhobidara of Kathmandu. He was born on the festival of goddess of wealth, Lakshmi Puja, and so named as a present form of goddess Lakshmi. Late Devkota penned many books that have captured the imagination of Nepali people and the diaspora living in India and abroad. His works are filled with the love and belief in human goodness. His numerous poems, classics, essays and dramas are portrayed with feelings of nationalism, romanticism, inhumanity. Lakshmiprasad Devkota would write anytime, anything on any topic. र यसरी नै लक्ष्मीप्रसाद देवकोटालाई सम्मान गर्नको निम्ति हामीले पदार्पण गर्यौं र यस कार्यक्रमलाई ढिलो भएकोले गर्दाखेरि अलिक चाँडो जानुपर्ने भएको छ र म यहाँ आफ्नो 2 शब्द राखिदिनु हुन चार्टर प्रेसिडेन्ट लाइन राजन थापालाई अनुरोध गर्दछु।
धन्यवाद ध्रुव थापाज्यू। Honorable President of this program, Chief Guest, Senior Advisor, dignitaries sitting on the dais, र यस क्लबको आतिथ्य स्वीकार गरी पाल्नुहुने सम्पूर्ण आदरणीय दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनी तथा ससाना भाइ बहिनीहरू, लायन्स क्लब अफ अन्नपूर्ण बर्कली तेस्रो वर्षमा हिँडिरहेको छ। मैले पटक पटक भन्ने गर्छु, हामीले के गर्न सक्यौं, के गर्न सकेनौं, भोलि त्यसको लेखाजोखा हुने नै छ। तर अमेरिकामा नेप्लिज लायन्स क्लब को जन्म भने भएको छ। त्यसले हामीलाई गर्वको अनुभूति दिनुपर्छ र म आशावादी छु आउने दिनहरूमा नयाँ नेतृत्व पलाउने छन्, नयाँ जोशहरू आउने छ र यस संस्थाले गतिलो पाइला चाल्नेछ। I'm really happy to note that we have founded Lions Club Annapurna Berkeley as the second Nepalese club in America. आउनुहोस्, संसारको सबैभन्दा ठूलो संस्था, largest social organization of the world, हातेमालो गरौं। यस संस्थाबाट हामी धेरै कुरा गर्न सक्छौं, तर हामी आफ्नै समस्यामा जकडिएका छौं, आफ्नै समस्याले बाँधिएका छौं। त्यसो भएकोले लायन्स क्लबलाई हामीले राम्ररी बुझ्न सकिरहेका छैनौं, बुझाउन सकिरहेका छैनौं। यो हाम्रो दुःखलाग्दो पक्ष हो। म सबैलाई आह्वान गर्न चाहन्छु, अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु विनम्रताका साथ, लायन्स क्लबलाई बुझौं र यसलाई अघि बढाउँ। यसबाट हामी धेरै कुरा हाम्रो समाजको निम्ति प्राप्त गर्न सक्छौं। अघि मात्र हाम्रो मदरल्यान्डका अध्यक्ष अनिलजीले कुरा गर्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो, यस्तै हल हाम्रो नेपाली कम्युनिटीको भए कस्तो हुन्थ्यो भनेर कुरा गरिरहनु भएको थियो। हाम्रो सिनियर एडभाइजर गोविन्द साईज्यूसँग मैले त्यति बेला पनि निवेदन गरेको थिएँ, एलसीआईएफ लायन्स क्लब इन्टरनेशनल फाउन्डेसनसँग यति पैसा छ कि हामीले राम्रो प्रोजेक्ट दिन सक्यौं भने नेपालीको कम्युनिटी सेन्टर चाँडोभन्दा चाँडो बन्न सक्छ। त्यसकारण आउनुहोस्, लायन्स क्लबमा समाहित हुनुहोस् र यसमा नेतृत्व दिन अघि बढ्नुहोस् भन्ने मेरो जहिले पनि आह्वान हुने गर्दछ एज अ चार्टर प्रेसिडेन्ट। र आज तिहारको साँझमा हाम्रो संस्कृतिलाई प्रवर्धन गर्ने, जोगाउने र हाम्रा ससाना भाइ बहिनीहरूमा आफ्नो कला संस्कृतिप्रति मोह जगाउने कार्यक्रम, यो तेस्रो कार्यक्रम हो लायन्स क्लबको तेस्रो वर्षको स्थापना कालमा। र मलाई आशा छ यी नानीहरूले हाम्रो कला संस्कृतिलाई जगेर्ना गर्दै हाम्रो देशको गौरव बढाउनुहुनेछ। त्यसैगरी मानिसै ठूलो दिलले हुन्छ, जातले हुँदैन। हामी 9-10 कक्षामा पढ्दा मुनामदन पाठ्यक्रममा पढ्नु पर्थ्यो र हाम्रो मलाई अहिले पनि याद आइरहेको छ, मेरो शिक्षक हुनुहुन्थ्यो उदय प्रकाश राई, दार्जिलिङमा पढ्दा मुनामदन पढाउँदा पढाउँदै उहाँ रुनुहुन्थ्यो, फुड्को हुनुहुन्थ्यो, साह्रै भावुक हुनुहुन्थ्यो र यो खण्डकाव्य पढाउँदा पढाउँदै रुनुहुन्थ्यो र एक हप्ता स्कुल आउन सक्नुहुन्न थियो। त्यस्तो मार्मिक खण्डकाव्य लेख्ने लक्ष्मीप्रसाद देवकोटा संयोगले आज 100 वर्षको जन्म जयन्ती मनाउने क्रममा हामी छौं। र अघि उद्घोषक ध्रुव थापाले लक्ष्मी प्रसाद देवकोटाको कविताको अंश वाचन गर्दा मलाई लाग्छ सबैको शरीरमा एउटा रोमाञ्च पैदा भएको थियो। महान कवि, आशु कवि र एसियाको ठूलो साहित्य सम्मेलनमा उहाँले सहभागिता हुँदा एउटा अंग्रेजी कविले मलाई च्यालेन्ज दिनुभएछ। त्यति बेला ल ठिक छ, म कविता भन्दै जान्छु, तिमी लेख्दै जाऊ। देवकोटाले अंग्रेजीमा धारा प्रवाह ढंगबाट कविता भन्दै जानुभयो। ती महान अंग्रेजी एउटा साहित्यकारले कविता लेख्दै जानुभयो। उहाँ थाक्नुभयो, देवकोटा थाक्नु भएन, देवकोटाको कविता सकिएन। त्यस्तो महान देवकोटाको पनि हामी आज पुनित जन्म जयन्ती मनाइरहेका छौं र जुन ढंगबाट यो उपस्थिति छ हामी जोसिएका छौं, हामी खुशी छौं र हामी अत्यन्त रोमाञ्चित छौं। र तेस्रो वर्षमा रहेको यो नेपलिज लायन्स क्लब इन अमेरिका, लायन्स क्लब अफ अन्नपूर्ण बर्कली, यहाँहरुमा स्वागत अभिवादन गर्न चाहन्छ र आउने दिनहरुमा तपाईहरु सँगसँगै हातेमालो गर्न चाहन्छ। यिनै कुराहरु राख्दै भर्खरै मात्रमा हामी माझ आजको गेस्ट स्पिकर च्यारिटी फोकस का फाउन्डर निपुण मेहता आउँदै हुनुहुन्छ र म उहाँलाई मञ्चमा आइदिनु हुन अनुरोध गर्दछु। गेस्ट स्पिकर निपुण मेहता, फाउन्डर अफ च्यारिटी फोकस, प्लिज on the dais. धन्यवाद, थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच।
धन्यवाद चार्टर प्रेसिडेन्ट लाइन राजन थापा। साँच्चै नै हामीले गर्व गर्नुपर्छ, अमेरिकामा बसेर पनि लायन्स क्लब हाम्रो नेपाली कम्युनिटीमा जन्मिएको छ। यो लायन्स क्लब दोस्रो लायन्स क्लब भनेर चिनिन्छ नेपाली कम्युनिटीमा। हामी जहाँ बसे पनि, जसरी बसे पनि, जुन ठाउँमा बसे पनि, जहिले पनि हामी आफ्नो भाषा, संस्कृति, कला, सभ्यतालाई कहिले बिर्सिँदैनौँ। त्यही नै हाम्रो परिचय हो, त्यही नै हाम्रो पहिचान हो। त्यसैलाई जोगाउन सके मात्र हामी आफ्नो अस्तित्व जोगाउन सक्छौँ, नत्र भने हामी भिडमा हराएको बोका जस्तै हुन्छौँ। कता हो कता, कसैले नचिन्ने, कसैले नचिन्ने, म के हुँ, कहाँबाट आएको हुँ, मेरो अस्तित्व के हो, हामीले भुल्न सक्छौँ। हामी जहाँ भए पनि आफूले आफूलाई भुल्नु हुँदैन भन्ने नाराका साथ we serve. The motto of Lion Club is to serve. Wherever we are, whatever we do, we always try to serve to our community. We always try to give back to our community whatever form that we can do from ourselves. It is from our heart that we have the feeling to service. We always want to serve. And that's why the Lion Club of Annapurna is here to serve you, to show its existence in the vast society of United States of America. हाम्रो गेस्ट अफ अनर र हाम्रो आजको स्पिकर निपुण मेहताजी आइसक्नु भएको छ र उहाँलाई हामीले यहाँ डाइसमा बोलाएर सम्मान गरिसकेका छौँ, राखिसकेका छौँ। यसरी नै अब कार्यक्रमलाई अगाडि बढाउँदै म आजको कार्यक्रमलाई सम्बोधन गरिदिनु हुन हाम्रो सिनियर एडभाइजर गोविन्द साईजीलाई अनुरोध गर्दछु। I would like to request our senior advisor Govinda Sai to address this program. Thank you.
Namaskar सबैलाई. Namaste, good evening to everyone. On behalf of Lions Club of Annapurna, I'd like to welcome you all to an evening in the celebrations of Tihar. Melvin Jones founded the Lions Club in 1917, and since people have come together to serve their community. 3 years ago, a local club was formed by the Nepali community, Lions Club of Annapurna. The purpose of our club is to bring people together to create peace and harmony. The program this evening reflects our culture in a positive light in this foreign land. Lions Club of Annapurna has embarked on this purposeful and spiritual journey. The success of this club requires participation from members and guests. I encourage and welcome opinions, ideas, suggestions, and participations. As a community, we can expect to reach our goals and succeed when we come together. Happy Tihar, and I hope you'll enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Govinda Saiju. र म अर्को यस्तो व्यक्तित्व जसलाई देख्दा हामी विश्वासै गर्न सक्दैनौँ कि उहाँभित्र कति ठुलो समाज सेवाको भावना फुटेको छ भन्ने कुरा र त्यही गेस्ट स्पिकरको इन्ट्रोड्युस गरिदिन हुन म प्रियंका थापालाई बोलाउँदछु र आवर गेस्ट स्पिकर इज Nipun Mehta. I would like to request Priyanka Thapa to introduce our guest speaker, and after that I will request Nipun Mehta to address this program.
Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this event. I'm here to introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Nipun Mehta. As Mahatma Gandhi said, you must be the change you want to see in the world. And he sets a great example of this saying. Mr. Mehta is the founder of Charity Focus, a fully volunteer-run organization that serves the non-profit world for free. He is a computer science and philosophy graduate from UC Berkeley. He is also the recipient of Jefferson Award for Public Service and President Volunteer Service Award. He serves on the advisory board of Seva Foundation, Dalai Lama Foundation, and Airline Ambassadors. Mr. Mehta believes in using our hands to do random acts of kindness, use our heads to inspire people, and use our hearts to cultivate truth. Mr. Nipun's mission statement in life states, "Bring smile in the world and stillness in my heart." So it is our great honor to have Mr. Mehta in our program and share his ideas. And now to speak to us on giving back to community, please welcome Mr. Nipun Mehta.
All right. I'm sort of a non-podium kind of a guy. Let's see if I can break all the rules. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for having me. Rajanji and I have a very special friendship because we run this experiment in generosity every Sunday at his restaurant, Taste of Himalayas. We call it Karma Kitchen. And so I was just volunteering there earlier today. It's a very beautiful experience. I don't know if you guys have heard of Karma Kitchen, but the whole idea is you walk into this restaurant and the check, you have a meal, and the meal is gifted to you. And the check at the end says, your total is $0, $0. Your meal was paid as a gift by somebody before you. And you get to pay forward whatever you want for someone after you. And you look at that and you say, wow, that can never work. You know? And our first time we did that, it was in downtown Berkeley. Very close to People's Park. And so everybody said, oh no, if you give away food like that, people will come and take. People will just grab. People will just want more and more. It's very close to People's Park. There's so many homeless people. And that was the response that everybody had. It was like, what are you going to do if all the homeless people come in? And guess what? There were no homeless people that came in. There were a few that came in later, but they understood the concept and they were happy to participate in their own ways. Right? They took takeout. So this is the kind of thing that is so simple, yet it's so hard to understand. When I was growing up, I heard this story that really that moved me. I think it's a story, they share it in China, they share it in India, depending on which text you hear it. It's like a Chinese parable, or an Indian parable, or probably a Nepali parable too. There was this young kid, he looks at the world, and he says, oh my gosh, there's so much poverty, there's so many problems, there's so many conflicts, there's so many wars, I want to do something. And so he rolls up his sleeves and he says, I'm going to go out and change the world. And he tries really hard. He tries to change everybody on the outside. He realizes that's too big of a goal. He can't do it. So then he narrows it down. And he says, you know what I'm going to do? I can't change the world. I'm going to change my country. Simpler. So he goes and he tries, he has all these ideas and programs and talks to this person and this president and this secretary. And he realizes a few years later it's too big of a goal. And he says, okay, make it a little simpler. And he says, okay, I'm going to try to change my state. Even that doesn't work. I'm going to try to change my community, my local people. He says, okay, that should be manageable. He tries again, and now he's getting older and older. Even that doesn't work. So then he says, all right, I'll change my family. But even in his family, people are saying you're doing one thing, and you're saying another thing. So it doesn't make any sense. I don't want to listen to you. So even in his family, nobody listens to him. So now he's very old. He's trying to change everybody. His wife, his sons, his daughters, his community. Nobody's paying attention. And finally, when he's old, he comes to this realization, and he says, what if I change myself? That's something I can do right here, right now. And he decides to do that right there. But then a very interesting thing happens, because as he changes himself, he realizes that those around him change. Because now he's authentic. He's saying one thing, he's thinking the same thing, and he's doing the same thing. Right? Thought, speech, and action all are in alignment. So all of a sudden, people close to him are changing. And then when they change, it ripples out to those in the community. And then it goes out to the state, and it goes out into the world. So this is powerful. This has been something I struggled. I worked very hard to, when you're in college, what do you want? When you're in high school, what do you want to do? You want to get to a good college. I got to Berkeley and I said, okay, now I've made it. But of course, that's not how it works, because that greedy mindset, it's like, I want to go to the next step. I want to impress all my professors so I can get a good job. That's what it's about, good job. So I got a job. And then you'd think, okay, now at least you'd be satisfied. No, you got to get the next promotion. So I went after the next promotion, and then you'd think I would be satisfied there. I said, no, you got to get the third promotion. And then you get a few promotions, and then everybody starts saying, you're too good for this, you need to start your own business. And at that point I said, look, what is all this about? Right? Is it just about acquiring more and more and more and more? And you look at people who have acquired more and more and more. I have spent lots of time with people who have a lot, but they're not necessarily happy. Happiness has got nothing to do with how much you have. Happiness has got something to do with how big your heart is, how open you are. And I realized that the hard way. I was in India one time, and there was a monk. And this monk he says, I'm going to give you a gift. And you know how all kids get excited when you get gifts. I was also excited. And so I said, okay, what gift am I going to get? He says, I'm going to give you the gift of a story. And he tells me this beautiful story. And he says, Nipun, I want you to remember this, because this story applies to you. It's like, okay. He says, well, in this particular small village of India, there were lots of monkeys. And the monkeys were bothering all the tourists. So they said, let's trap these monkeys and take them to the zoo. Now, how do you trap the monkeys? There are lots of different ideas, right? Somebody said, put these nets around, let's trap these monkeys and take them. Somebody else said, oh, well, let's take the sticks out and let's do that. Somebody else said, let's corner them and let's trap them and let's make them feel helpless. They thought of all kinds of strategies. And then this old man in the corner is a very simple idea. He says, monkeys love nuts. So what I'm going to do is put these jars with nuts in them. But the opening of the jar is such that the hand goes in and you make a fist. You go in, I love these nuts, I want these nuts. You make them. So the hand goes in, but as soon as you make a fist, the fist won't come out. All the monkey has to do is let go. But the monkey won't do it. More, more, more. I want more. I want all of that. Oh, now we have lighting. This is good. Oh, it was good that way too. So the monkey says, in all its greed, all its might, says, I want more, 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 and it traps itself. And all it has to do is let go. As soon as you let go, you're open and you're free. It's such a simple thing, yet it's so difficult for us to understand. It's so difficult for me to understand. And it took me a long time. So a few of us decided that we want to go out and do these letting go things. I was talking with my cousin. My cousin is this very popular guy. He has, when he does this a cappella music, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. No instruments, but they all make sounds, and like they do, they do this kind of stuff, and a whole bunch of them. It's amazing. So 1,000 people come, and they do all this kind of pranks. So they go out and they'll burn a football field, or they'll do ridiculous things, and people will say, "Oh, guess who did that?" We don't know. And then that's how they get their high. And so we were talking about, why do kids do pranks? Why do you do pranks? That's what I asked him. I said, why do you do pranks? He says, well, it's creative, it's collaborative, it's challenging. And he listed a whole bunch of criteria. And I said, what if you took all those criteria and instead of doing something destructive, you did something constructive? He says, like what? Hey Alan, thank you guys. He says, like what? I said, well, what if you all got together and instead of doing something, instead of hurting somebody, instead of like going out and doing a prank, instead of doing, oh wow, they did that, and the next day you have no high feeling, what if you go and make someone's day? What if you know that someone's having a bad time, and all of you like send them flowers and anonymous cards and chocolates, and she opens her locker and all of a sudden she finds this goodie, and she goes to her class and there's this note on her desk that says, you're amazing, thank you for doing this for me. What if you did something small to make someone's day? He says, oh, that's interesting. And so then I said, well, let's make it a little bit more challenging. Because what is the hardest thing when you give? Is to give anonymously. So we said, what if you did all this anonymously? And then he got really excited. He was like, oh, we could have like compassion games. I was like, yeah, you could. He was like, oh, we could meet in like the basements and like we could just figure out how to make people's days. I says, yeah. And so that's how we started this little experiment. It's this thing called smile cards. I always have one with me. Can you tell me how much time I have? Like 10 more minutes? 5 more. All right, okay. Whenever my wife's there, she's always telling me, all right, you've got 1 more minute. Let me show you this. And then I'll give you... So the idea behind this is that you go and do a small act of kindness for somebody you don't know. You don't get any credit. You pick up your neighbor's trash, and they say, oh my God, who picked up my trash? You don't know. It says, Smiley, you've just been tagged. Experiments in Anonymous Kindness is the name of the game, and now you're it. So you tag them with an act of kindness, and now they have to go do it for someone else. Pay it forward. It's amazing. It takes people a long time to understand it, and you say, wow, such a simple thing, it can't really work, what's the big deal? You have all these doubts, and everybody thinks they're too big to do one small act of kindness. But guess what? It has it rocks people in amazing ways. One of my friends she's doing a PhD at Berkeley, very smart. For years, she tried to understand the value of a small act of kindness. She just didn't get it. And so one time, she's walking down outside IKEA. She actually parked her car. She was really late. Right? So she parks her car and zooms out, goes into IKEA, grabs something, comes back. On her car is a little note. He says, you're the world's worst parker And you really should not be allowed on the streets. You took up 2 parking spaces instead of 1, and people like you should not be on the streets. And all these like cuss words and expletives, and she was like, wow. And they didn't sign their names, they didn't have it. So they were like, it made her feel terrible. It's like, why would somebody go out of their way to leave a note on my dashboard for the 15 minutes I'm in IKEA to just tell me how bad of a driver I was? So she goes home, and she's like still feeling bad. She goes home, it's late, and then it hits her. If one small note on my car can make me feel so bad, maybe one small note on someone's car can make someone feel so good. It's possible that you could do one small thing for somebody, and perhaps they'll leave feeling amazing. Perhaps they'll feel, wow, somebody cares. Wow, this is amazing. One time I was in a talk. There were a whole bunch of kids, and it was a small room, and there was no mic, and so I had to yell. You know, with kids, you have to really do that. And so I was speaking, and I was so thirsty. I said, oh, I just need water. But there was no way I could go to the exit. And after the talk, all these kids came around, and we started talking. And I was like, oh, I just need water. Someone get me water. But I couldn't say it because there were so many people there. I couldn't get out. Right from underneath, this little hand goes up, and there's this little glass of water from one of the considerate girls who was listening. And on the card, there was a ripped up smile card, half in and half out. That's beautiful. That's amazing. Somebody cared. You care for somebody else in a very sincere, genuine way. And that's really what it's all about. My grandfather used to have a daily practice. See, a lot of times you go to these, you get all these awards and you do all this stuff. Everybody talks about big, 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 big. You did this amazing thing and you did that amazing thing and those amazing people. But really, the most amazing stuff is the small stuff. Absolute small stuff. You know what my grandfather used to do every single day? Every morning he would go, he was a person of very humble means. He would go and take flour, wheat flour that you make chapatis from. He'd take this flour and he'd go on this walk and he would feed anthills. Ants. And you say, wow, what is the impact of that? How does that change the world? He didn't get a Nobel Prize. But here I am talking about it 4 generations later. So that's the power of doing small things. It transforms you. And when you are changed, your whole lineage is changed. And the entire world is changed in very subtle but significant ways. So thank you all for standing up for that. Thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. And if you want smile cards, I have some.
Thank you so much for your great words, great work for social service and to make everybody smile. Now, to start our next program, because we are running short of the time, because we have to start a very exciting program of dance competition very soon. So, आजको यस कार्यक्रममा लायन्स क्लबको सबैभन्दा ठुलो सम्मान लिने मेलविन जोन फेलोशिप मेम्बरशिप लिने व्यक्तित्व हामी समक्ष हुनुहुन्छ। यो मेलविन जोन फेलोशिप लिनको लागि के गर्नुपर्छ यस विषयमा 2 शब्द भनिदिन र मेलविन जोन फेलोशिप लिने नारायण छेत्रीलाई यहाँ आएर आफ्नो शब्द राखिदिन म अनुरोध गर्दछु र उहाँलाई निम्ताउनका लागि म चार्टर प्रेसिडेन्ट राजेन थापालाई उहाँको बारेमा अलिकति भनिदिन म अनुरोध गर्दछु।
Thank you again. Lions Club मा लागिसकेपछि Lion MJF भन्न ठुलो रहर हुन्छ। मेलविन्स जोन्स जसले लायन्सको स्थापना गर्नुभयो र नारायण छेत्री जो हामीमाझ अहिले मञ्चमा उपस्थित हुनुहुन्छ शालीन उपस्थितिका साथ उहाँ लायन्स क्लब अफ काठमाडौँ नमस्ते स्प्रिङका चार्टर प्रेसिडेन्ट हुनुहुन्थ्यो र उहाँ अहिले पनि लायन्समा समाहित हुनुहुन्छ र लायन्स क्लब अन्नपूर्ण बर्कली मार्फत उहाँ एमजेएफ र एमजेएफ लिनको लागि $1,000 लायन्स इन्टरनेसनल हेडक्वार्टर सिकागो इलिनोइसमा छ। त्यहाँ क्लब मार्फत क्लबले सिफारिस गरेर पठाएपछि उहाँले MJF पिन पाउनुहुन्छ। त्यसपश्चात उहाँले आफ्नो नाम अगाडि लायन MJF नारायण छेत्री लेख्न पाउनुहुनेछ। र त्यो अवसर हामीलाई यहाँ हाम्रो क्लबलाई प्रदान गर्नुभयो, त्यसको निम्ति धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु र नारायण छेत्रीज्यूलाई आफ्नो कुरा राखिदिनु पनि अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु।
Thank you, Ravan Thapa. I am third president of Ravan Thapa. And also, thank you, Lion Purva Thapa. So, Honorable
MJF लाइन नारायण छेत्रीज्यू, अब कार्यक्रमलाई अगाडि बढाउँदै म सुलभजीलाई यहाँ आएर हाम्रो लायन्स क्लब अफ अन्नपूर्ण बर्कलीको प्रेसिडेन्ट करेन्ट प्रेसिडेन्ट मणि नेपालीज्यू जो यहाँ हुनुहुन्न, उहाँ अहिले नेपाल जानुभएको छ र उहाँले नेपालबाट पठाउनु भएको एउटा शुभकामना पत्र पढिदिनु हुन म अनुरोध गर्दछु।
Thank you. I would like to read message sent by Lion Mani Nepali. I'll just read out what I got in my email. Dear Lion dignitaries, district officer, charter president Lion Rajan, fellow advisors, fellow Lions, families, friends and participants of the dance competition. I'm extremely happy that this program is taking place in the happy occasion of Tihar festival. The Nepali community around the globe is proud of their wonderful culture and it is really appreciated by the international community. Lions Club International is the largest volunteer organization in the world and widely acclaimed around the globe. Our simple motto, we serve, tells the whole story of selfless service to the mankind. We are like the salt of the world, which prevents the human civilization from decay. Although I'm thousands of miles away from you, my heart and soul is with you. Thank you all for making it happen. I thank our energetic first Vice President Lion Ramchandra Dakal, who is also the acting president in my absence. I thank our charter president and advisor for their kind guidance. I thank all the dance participants and their parents for finding time for the cause of Lionism and supporting Berkeley Annapurna Lions Club, which brings hope and inspiration to the Nepalese community in California and in motherland Nepal. I wish all the best for the grand success for the program and hope to be with all of you in the near future. Long live Nepalese unity, long live Lionism. Mani Nepali Paniru, President Berkeley Annapurna Lions Club. Thank you.
Thank you, Sulab. हामी अब कार्यक्रमको अन्तिमतिर पुगेका छौं र यसपछि हाम्रो कार्यक्रमको अति नै महत्त्वपूर्ण र अति नै आकर्षक कार्यक्रम भनेको नृत्य प्रतियोगिता हो। त्यस अगाडि हामी यो कार्यक्रम जुन फर्मल प्रोग्राम हो, यो फर्मल प्रोग्राम कहिलेकाहीँ हामीलाई अल्छी लाग्दो लाग्छ, लामो लाग्छ, घरको लाग्छ, तर पनि हामीले गर्नै पर्छ, बाँध्नै पर्छ, नियममा चल्नै पर्छ। र आजको यस कार्यक्रममा तिहार साँझमा सम्पूर्ण महानुभावहरूलाई स्वागत गर्दै आज हामीले लक्ष्मीप्रसाद देवकोटाको जन्म जयन्ती पनि मनाइरहेका छौं र यस उपलक्ष्यमा आजको डान्स कम्पिटिसनको जज पनि रहनु भएको छ र पछि उहाँ आएर कविता भन्नु नभ्याउनु भएकोले गर्दाखेरि अहिले नै म हाम्रो अति प्रिय मित्र मदरल्यान्ड नेपालको प्रेसिडेन्ट आजको कार्यक्रमको डान्स कम्पिटिसनको जज अनिल पाण्डेज्यूलाई आएर आफ्नो कविता पाठ गरिदिनु हुन अनुरोध गर्दछु।
नमस्ते। अघि नाम बोलाउँदाखेरि उता कलकत्तामा
रहेछ फेरि पनि नमस्ते दुर्गाजीले भन्नुभएको चाहिँ मलाई यो आजको यो जुन हाम्रो लायन्स क्लबको थिम छ एकदम चित्त बुझ्यो वी आर हियर टु सर्भ नट टु डिस्टर्ब त्यही हिसाबले हेरिदिनु होला भन्ने मैले मनमा लिएको छु र म आजको कविता सुरु गर्न जाँदैछु महाकवि जीवित वैद्याले अल्प आयुमै स्वर्गको यात्रा नगरेको भए पछुताउनथ्यौँ लाल जुल्फी फर्काउँछौँ हामी तिमी त्यसै डराउनथ्यौँ निधारमा रातै फित्ता हाम्रो क्रान्ति छ रोम रोममा तिम्रा सर्वाङ्ग रोम रितिन्थे अझै चिन्ने हुने थिएनौ अल्प आयुमै स्वर्गको यात्रा नगरेको भए पछुताउँथ्यौँ लाल जुल्फी फर्काउँछौँ हामी तिमी त्यसै डराउँथ्यौँ लक्ष्मीको नाम राख्दैमा को हुन्थ्यो धनवान र लक्ष्मीको नाम राख्दैमा को हुन्थ्यो धनवान र उल्टो यात्रा गरी हिँड्दा कुन दस्ताको हात पर्ने थियौँ गृह युद्ध हुँदै गर्दा रगतको बाढी उर्लिँदा लाल सेना नबनाई मदनलाई भोट पठाउनथ्यौँ अल्प आयुमै स्वर्गको यात्रा नगरेको भए पछुताउनथ्यौँ लाल झुल्फी फर्काउँछौँ हामी तिमी त्यसै डराउनथ्यौँ सँगै सँग हिमाल पहाड तराई धप्प बल्दछ बाटैमै बौला हुन्थ्यो मदन शेर्पालाई रुवाउँदथ्यो शान्ति सद्भाव असम्भव देखेर एकता मुलुकमा मुनाको प्रेममा मर्ने लुते नायक किन बनाउँथ्यौँ अल्प आयुमै स्वर्गको यात्रा नगरेको भए पछुताउनथ्यौँ लाल जुल्फी फर्काउँछौँ हामी तिमी त्यसै डराउनथ्यौँ शकुन्तला किन बस्ती गणतन्त्रको राजा सम्झँदै शकुन्तला किन बस्ती गणतन्त्रको राजा सम्झँदै नारी र पुरुष समान हुन्छ भनेर गीत रच्ने थियौँ भोटतिर पठाउँदा मदनले चक्का चाम गर्ने थियो लौ म र अमेरिकातिर भनी के तिमीले पठाउँदैनथ्यौ धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद अनिल पाण्डेज्यू उहाँले आफ्नो कविता पढेर सुनाइदिनु भयो धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद र कार्यक्रमलाई छोटो पार्न अब अन्तिम चरणमा पुगेका छौँ र आई वुड लाइक टु रिक्वेस्ट आवर गेस्ट स्पिकर टु से फ्यु वर्ड्स थ्याङ्क यू Chief guest, Francine Piper.
I'm probably one of the 4 people here who doesn't speak Nepalese, so I will speak in English. My name is Francine Kuipers. I've known Rajan, Lakshmi, and the whole group of Taste of the Himalaya for about 5 years now. And I really want to support all the efforts of this community to spread, their knowledge about the Nepalese culture to people like me who didn't know anything about the Nepalese culture until 5 years ago. So thank you very much for that. When I came to this country about 30 years ago now, like many of you, I'm a foreigner. And I had to overcome a few challenges, just like you too. The first one was the language. The second one was the cultural differences between the country where I come from, just like your country. We had to adjust to the American culture. And 30 years later, I'm still learning about the American culture, and it is challenging. I think one of the big issues that we all have is to accept, those cultural differences, because we all tend, I think it's natural to, we have this strong sense of what's wrong and what's right. It's like our culture is right and your culture, is not. So I think it's really important to come from a place where we embrace those differences, and I think if we do that, it will help us, to have a better world, starting with our own self, as we said before. Through my work and my travels, I did have the chance to go through, to many countries and get to know people from all different cultures. And it's quite fascinating, actually, because culture is not only about the food and the music, but it goes a lot deeper than that. It has to do with education, it has to do with a sense of humor, the concept of time, and there are many layers, when you start looking into those differences. And I just don't want to keep too much time here, but I'm really very fortunate to be here in Berkeley, where we are exposed every day to so many different cultures. And thank you very much for inviting me today and be part of yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our chief guest. Now, we are going to end the program very soon. So before ending the program, now I would like to request Acting President Lion Ramchandra Dekal to address the program and conclude this program. But before that, अबको पहिलो चरणको कार्यक्रम हाम्रो सकिन आँटेको छ। प्रेसिडेन्टको मन्तव्यपछि कार्यक्रम अन्त हुनेछ र त्यसपछि हामी दोस्रो चरणको कार्यक्रममा जानुभन्दा पहिला हामी खाना खानेछौँ, भोजन लिनेछौँ, त्यसपछि आएर रमाएर नाच्दै झुम्दै गाउँदै आफ्नो संस्कृति मनाउनेछौँ। अब म यहाँ लायन Acting President of Lions Club of Annapurna Berkeley, Mr. Ramchandra Dekal, please.
Thank you, Baba. Namaste and good evening. It is my great pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Mrs. Francine Cooper, and all special guests and all members of Lions Club of Berkeley and all my respected friends with brother and sister, as well as all participants. We have been able to keep on the legacy of Lions Club International, which gives us pride in the society. We serve is the motto of Lions Club International, and it is the largest social organization of the world. Our club is second Nepalese Lions Club in the great country, America. I urge all my respected guests, friends and brothers and sisters to come forward to strengthen hands of Lions Club International. Since is Nepalese Lions Club, I would like to have your permission to speak in Nepali. Lions Club of Berkeley Annapurna अति विशिष्ट मानवहरू डेस्कमा आसीन हाम्रा प्रमुख